Sattang Samadamo Tuyavanibbana Yami Punyam Atavakkaya Vanhotu Sabbadukka
Bhante Homagama Kondanna was born in Sri Lanka and has lived in the United Kingdom since 1961. He studied engineering and had his own business in London. After 16 years in UK, he became a Theravedic Buddhist monk under the most venerable Hamalawa Sadhatisa Nayaka Thero, and was ordained and trained in Akan Cha tradition under Akan Sumedu. Bhante conducts meditation retreats and Dhamma discussions in Sri Lanka, United Kingdom, Germany, Switzerland, Japan, Singapore, Thailand, Canada, United States, South Africa, Zimbabwe, South American countries, Ecuador, Argentina, Chile, and many other locations. He's well known for explaining Buddhist teachings by comparing them with modern science. It's a great honor. Thank you for being here today.
I'm happy to. It's so wonderful to see all of you together. Of course, right around the world, wherever I go, you find hardly any Sri Lankans. There's mostly non-Sri Lankans and non-Buddhist, of course. Now, after about 25, 30 years, I have people who call themselves Buddhist among themselves in Ecuador, Argentina, and Chile, but they don't publicize the fact as they're in a country that is non-Buddhist country. So, everywhere I go, I see human beings. According to the Buddha, the whole world is made out of solidity, fluidity, gaseous nature, and temperature, hot and cold, and space. Human being is a little bit different because human being has consciousness. So wherever I go, from Africa to the east, to west, to south, to north, I found human beings. And they all have the same problems. I mean, there are little nuances for each country, but problems are the same. Greed, hatred, and delusion. This is what makes human beings suffer all the time. I often say that human beings, unfortunately, have invested all of reality in the thinking process. You can't do anything without figuring out in your thinking process. All human beings have intuition. But what happens if you don't use them? It closes itself. So because we've invested all of reality in the thinking process, the intuitive aspect of the human mind just closed down. And Vipassana meditation especially opens it up so that you can have access to what everyone have by nature, the intuitive part. Now, intuitive wisdom is not a product of thinking. When you're, like, for instance, enlightened beings, Buddhas, silent Buddhas, most of them work on that intuitive wisdom. They don't have to think and figure out, they just know from moment to moment what to do, what to say, how to say. And we have to think about it. We have to figure out. But intuitive wisdom, you just know exactly the right thing to do in every present moment. So this is what needs to be aroused, needs to be awakened in human beings. So In our thinking, we have what is called a foundation of our thinking process. What is it? Language, views, opinions, and descriptions. I hope everybody can hear me. Yes?
Yes.
So in our foundation of thinking, we have these views, opinions, concepts, and description of our own mind and body. Of course, description of the world also. Now if the foundation is wrong, whatever we think, whatever conclusions we come to, we won't get the right answer. You understand that? Because our views and opinions become criteria of wisdom, criteria of judgment. Whenever we want to do something for ourselves, for other people, we have to use these views and opinions to judge, to come to the conclusion. Now if these views and opinions are inaccurate, we will never come to the right conclusion and we never get the right result. So this is why in the Noble Eightfold path for the purification of the mind, to enlighten yourself, the first aspect is right view. Of course, to think about right view, you have to have at least a little bit of wisdom, a little bit of more than a depth, a little bit of depth in your intelligence. So once you start being concerned of right view, you don't get the right view by reading books on Buddhism or any other books. The right view has to be established experientially. The mind looking at oneself. One's mind and body process observing from the mind. Now, if I ask you to do that, you'll start thinking. No. That's something more profound than thinking, what we call awareness. Awareness is able to observe the thinking process. Awareness does not exaggerate anything, it does not miss anything. It observes how things they are and how they come to be in the mind and the body of the human being. How they come to be is important because we are in movement all the time. Our whole mind and body is changing every moment in movement. That's how we get old, otherwise we won't get old. So whether you are young or old, every moment you are getting closer to death. That's the final in this time. So the important is to establish right view through one's own experience. Not second-hand knowledge, but direct perception. We call it also direct perception. How do you acquire direct perception? By learning to concentrate your mind in one object for a long period of time, to focus your attention and sustain it until the mind becomes completely one-pointed with the object. It doesn't observe, it doesn't see anything else except the breathing process. When that happens, your mind and body becomes completely relaxed, no intention to move. You have the full potential of your mind at hand to use. Now you are in the plane of awareness. Thinking process slowly subsides. Now you are. And awareness leads to insight, and insight leads to wisdom arising from moment to moment in your mind and body. We separate the mind and body only for the sake of understanding. But otherwise, as you know, it's not easy to separate the mind and the body. We are together. every cell, every hair follicle is included in the mind. But the mind is not limited to the body. It can take in the whole universe. That's the nature of the human mind. So, and this mind is always in movement. As I am speaking and my words are going into the past and it becomes history, it cannot go back again. All of us. Every moment goes into past and it becomes history. You can't go back. You can only go back in thinking, but you can't go back to the yesterday or to the past moment. No. So the subject today was how to deal with fear, worry. Start with worry and then worry leads to fear. Sometimes we have these buttons, I'm afraid of this, I'm afraid of that, I'm afraid of. So when somebody presses that button, fear just arises. You've already programmed it to your mind. Otherwise, there's this process of thinking where you start thinking negatively, projecting to the future, and then fear arises. Now, friends, right now in this moment, there's no fear. Whatever is happening is happening. We are only in the happening right now. You may have thought, well, I'm going to the talk, I'm going to sit down and listen, but once you are here, you are in the happening. There's nothing to be afraid of right now. But so where is the fear coming in? Fear is coming, what might happen in the next moment, in the future, in 1 hour, 5 hours, tomorrow, the day after, in a week, in a month. What will happen in the future? So what is the best way to deal with it? You got the answer. I've given you the answer right now.
Here and now.
Here and now. 45 years of Buddha's teachings, he was trying to make human beings understand the importance of living in the moving present. And if you are in the moving present, you do everything well, because you are present-centered, you have what you call present-centered awareness, and you can't do anything wrong, because there, in every moment, you are in the moment. And we are, whether we speak or not, we are going into the past gradually, every second. The clock is ticking and we are going into the past. So fear comes, fear needs the future. Do you realize this? If you don't project to the future, there cannot be fear. There's nothing to be afraid of. And it's only a mental projection in the thinking process. It may happen, it may not happen, but what does it do? Fear freezes you. Makes you confused. Your breathing changes. Oh, this might happen. You start suffering. Unpleasant. And of course the people around you also get some of it. And if what you fear you have to confront, you are not in the right mood to confront it. It's like you are driving and emergency happens, your hands are not on the wheel. That's what happens when you are not in the moving present. So here is the key. The more you are concentrated in the moving present, fear cannot arise in such a way. The moment it arises, you say, future, bye, not yet come. Future, not yet come. Fear, future not yet come. There's these three words I know. Then of course there's another dragon that keeps us suffering. The dark, sad moments of the past. When they arise in the memory, then you start bringing out the old films and screening them in the screen of your mind and going through the same suffering. Maybe it happened 25 years ago, or yesterday, or last week. But in the present moment, you are making the present moment miserable by indulging in the dark, sad moments of the past. Now, you all know that if you lose a loved one by death or has gone away or has disappeared, it's normal to miss that person. So where is the suffering? Indulging in missing the person. Do you understand that? Indulge in missing. The name pops up in your mind, somebody whom you loved, and could be a mother, father, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, anyone, even a child. So when the name comes up, I accept you have gone away or you're dead. Thank you for the good time we had. Life has to go on. Bye-bye. That's all you have to say. But if you start lamenting, oh, if you were here, it would have been much better, and why did you leave me and go away? You know how people start indulging in missing? That's out of ignorance. You don't need to do it. When you understand this nature of your mind, you find it's not necessary. Yes, say, I miss you, I love you. I love you even in death. I let you go. You know, if you're clinging to that person who passed away, you might be hindering that person's samsaric journey. That is, in death it doesn't finish, it goes on. Goes on to rebirth. But you might, if you are too attached to this person, thinking about it, this person might not go away, be hanging around, but you can't see the person. Even if it's a loved one, when you can't see the person, you don't want them hanging around you. So it's important that you let the person go if it's a person who has died. If it's a person who has left, what's the best thing? How wonderful I'm free. Most beautiful sentence that I come up with in my life. How wonderful and free. Bye-bye, thank you for letting me go. That's the best attitude to have. Any other attitude will bring you suffering. And you think of, now you're free, now you don't have to satisfy anybody, you don't have to listen to anybody, you don't have to think about anybody. Your mind is wide open. And your heart can be also wide open. I hope you remember that. Just keep repeating, it's a fantastic mantra. How wonderful and free. Doesn't matter whether it's a boyfriend or husband or father or mother or sister or brother or friend, anybody who leaves you and goes away, say how wonderful and free. That's the best, that's the dealing with the present. And fear always needs the future. If you don't project your mind in your thinking process to the future, you will never be afraid. Because the future, when it comes, when you have to deal with it, it becomes a present. In fact, you might not be even there when the future comes. That's how fragile the nature of a human being is. You can buy a motor car for 5-year guarantee, but human being, not for 1 second. You can't guarantee. Of course, we have this idea, average somebody lives up to 65 or 70. But how do you know that you're the exception that might die any time? I had 2 sisters, they were born, and they lived only for 1 hour. So, can die any moment from the time they are born, 100 years maybe, just about. Maybe 150 maximum. Tomorrow is again thinking negatively. Because this is happening now, oh my God, I'll have to face a bad future, bad karma. So you learn, once you learn, these are all products of thinking. Dark side moments of the past. Again, you're not the same person that was there when you did the mistake or when you did something wrong. We were evolved since then. So, maybe if you go back to the same time, you might probably do exactly the same thing, because after doing it, only you realize what you did was wrong. Very few people do wrong thinking, knowing that it's wrong. Generally, we made a mistake, we said the wrong thing, we made the wrong decision. Afterwards, we realize. Not in that moment. So why crucify yourself for the wisdom that you did not have at that moment? Not necessary. Later on, you realize it's wrong. Well, take the lessons, but don't take the memories. All what you can do about the past, you can take the lessons from the past and let go of the rest. Not necessary. It will only, of course, you can't think of only the good old days, because when you start thinking of the in between, the bad days also come up. You have to let go of the good old days also. Why? When you are indulging in thinking about the good old days, you are not in the present anymore. Your mind has gone to the maybe 25 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, or 1 day ago, a few days ago. So you are not in the present. So what happens? What you are doing in the present suffers. You will not be able to do it well, because part of your mind is, major part of your mind is thinking in the past. So if you want to do things well, correctly, always try to be in the moving present. I mean, you don't have to think about it, just be in the moving present. Thinking again, you're in the thinking process. That's why in meditation we work, we practice and practice until we acquire the skill to concentrate our mind. Once we acquire the skill to concentrate our mind, then we are able to use this powerful, penetrating ability of our mind to observe whatever you want. Problem, with the problem, look into the problem, you probably come out with many solutions. With a powerful mind. With a scattered, fragmented mind, maybe not even a solution. Maybe one solution. That's how. So 75% of our suffering is due to our not knowing the nature of our own mind and body process. So, I'm not recommending you to study psychology and anatomy and physiology, That won't do any good. It will stay in your memory, but you won't be able to use it when things are happening. So, the only way that you can learn an established right view in the foundation of your thinking is through meditation. It's using the powerful, penetrative ability of your mind. So, once you come up to that state where you are one-pointed, you leave the objective. The objective mindfulness of breathing is only to reach that place of concentration. Once you are concentrated, then you are going to what you call, you give up the object and you go into choiceless awareness. Before, you choose only to observe the breath. Now, we observe the breath or anything else that comes into the screen of our body. Observe the nature of the body. We observe the nature of feelings. Pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. When somebody says, I feel like going home, it's not a feeling. It's a thought. There's no such feeling like going home. It's only a thought. You want to go home, or you want to go and watch a film, or you want to go to the pub, or whatever it is. So we have to also change our vocabulary to use the right vocabulary. When you're talking about feelings, it should be only feelings, not thoughts. We mix it up. So, once you're able to observe through direct perception, now this is direct perception. When you're using the concentrated power of your mind, that is direct perception, not believing in anybody else, the Buddha or me or any books or anybody else, but your own perception. It's like when you are children, your parents tell you, don't put your finger in the fire. So we wait till they go away, put our finger, burn ourselves, and the rest of our life we don't need that direct perception anymore. We have had a profound insight into the nature of fire. So that is what happened. That is direct perception. You don't have to burn yourself, but I'm talking about. You can also have that direct perception by observing somebody else burning. So, once direct perception, little by little, it happens. You have full insight into the nature of the mind and body. Then you'll find life is much more joyful. Thought occurs, why don't I go to the moon? Ah, that's a loony thought, bye. Find somebody, think of somebody who's done you something very bad, I feel like killing them. Ah, that's a killing thought, bye. You know, all these thoughts come into a human mind. It's normal. A thought does not make you good or bad. Even monks have bad thoughts. It's if you act on these thoughts or react on these thoughts, then it makes you good or bad. You understand that? If thoughts make you good or bad, all of us would be in prison. So, thinking, it is normal, all kinds of thinking. Sometimes you don't know where these thoughts are coming from, just coming into your mind. Just observe them. Ah, thought coming. And then you find it goes by itself. Don't ever wish the thoughts to go. That's aversion to thinking, and then you'll be bombarded with thoughts on that particular subject. You know, if you think of somebody who's done you something wrong, it comes in the memory, and you say, oh no, I don't want to it come into my mind, I want to listen to that talk. Go away, go away. You say, go, go, go. After 1 hour, you're still wandering. Go away, Peter, go away, or David, go away. You're still having David that says, go away. Now we human beings don't realize that aversion to anything that arises in the mind only makes it stay with you, makes it dominate you. Just wait patiently, it will go by its own. Have any of you a permanent thought that came into your mind that did not leave your mind?
No.
No. I mean, if you have a permanent thought, you can't even get up from your seat, because the thought of getting up on the seat will not arise. You understand that?
Mm.
At the same time, it's also important, this thinking process, this thinking process is also very useful for, it has a very useful purpose to a human being's life. Language, for instance. Of course, language also, without our knowing, we develop our ego because of the language. I, me, mine. If every cell is changing, if mind is changing, what is there that is not subject to change? Only the name. Only the name. Everything else is changing. So, try to understand, in a changing mind and body, there is no fixed personality. What our thinking process is trying to do all the time, impose a non-changing personality to this changing body and mind. This is the dichotomy of the human being. This is the split personality. So everyone is a schizophrenic in a way. There is a natural mind and body process that is changing all the time. There is the I, me and mine in our thinking process. No, that's me. I was, I am, and I will be forevermore. You hear that some people saying that. How ignorant. The mind and body is changing all the time. You have the only control we have is not to react on these thoughts that arise in our mind. So we learn to observe the nature of these thoughts. Greedy thoughts. What is greed? Anything beyond need is greed. And it requires a certain wisdom to know that where need ends and greed begins. Hatred. From the slightest dislike, irritation, annoyance to explosive temper, it's all aversion. And whatever aversion that you have towards, it will stay with you. Only way to let go of whatever that arises in the mind is not to have aversion or not to have attachment through liking. Now all of you understand attachment through liking. But most human beings don't realize that disliking, aversion is also a reason why something comes into the mind and it doesn't go away. When you start meditating, just start thinking, I want to stop meditating, see what happens. I want to stop thinking. You'll be bombarded with thoughts. Simple exercise. I think most of you people who meditate go through. Mouth gets filled with saliva. I'll stop at the next one then. The moment you have aversion to the saliva coming into the mouth, you find a river of saliva coming, flowing into the mind. This is the nature of aversion. Pain. Suffering from pain. Now you won't believe this. You have to go through in meditation only to believe it. When there is aversion to pain, there is suffering. When you give up the aversion, there is no suffering. Pain becomes bearable. Not so bad. In the last 25, 30 years, I never taken injections for any dental work. I observed the dentist drilling into the sensitive area of my teeth without suffering. I'm telling you because I've done it. Anybody can do it. Just let go of the desire for the pain to go away or to escape from the pain. Then there's no more suffering. Suffering is due to the aversion. You'll think about it for a long time when you go home. The only way you can learn how to do that is through meditation. The first time it happens, you say, Eureka, now I can deal with pain anytime. The second time you sit, pain comes up, the same old habitual reaction of aversion comes up and you start suffering. Then you have to become mindfulness, be aware that you are suffering because of the pain and let go of because of the aversion, let go of the aversion, then no more suffering. So you have to go on changing this reactive nature of the mind with aversion to non-reactive nature. So it's only in meditation, if there is pain, you just say let it be. But in normal life, if there is pain, it's different. There's a reason why the pain arises. Investigate, and if necessary, take the right action. Not a blind reaction. If necessary, take the right action. You get up in the morning, one morning you have a pain somewhere in the body. Check it out. Before you start rejecting the pain, check it out. What is it? Oh, it's a little insect bite. Put some ointment on it. The next day, then you let the pain be. The function of the pain is part of the protective nature of this body. It's to make you investigate and do what is right. So you've done what is right, next morning you check if the pain is still there. If the pain has become more, then you may have to go to the doctor. If the pain has gone away, then you know the ointment worked. So you can go to the doctor, you can do surgery, go to get surgery done. So after the surgery is finished, we come back to normal. What do you call that? The anesthetic drug goes away, wears out, and you come back to normal, the pain starts. Realize this pain is there to let you know something is not wrong, not right. Now we put it right, and as slowly as healing takes place, you find the pain will slowly go away. Let the pain be there. You only check it now and then to see if it's gone. So if it becomes more, then you go back to the doctor and says, maybe you left some instrument inside my body. So, you never know. So, where fear is concerned, always remember it's a projection to the future negative. Fear, doubt, let it come up. Now we have to accept that human mind, the nature of the human mind, doubting is part of the human nature. To doubt even what you know. This is normal. You don't have to indulge in it. You just say, doubt. Especially if you are meditating, you start doubting, it says, doubting, come back to the breath. Thinking, come back to the breath. Present, unpleasant, neutral. Thinking, come back to the breath. So, worry. Again, worry is also part of our thinking process. We start worrying, oh, if this happens, and if this happens, and if this happens, and if this happens, if that. Or, and then you already produce the results also before it has happened, and you start suffering unnecessarily. So worry doesn't produce any wisdom. It only produces negativity, fear, suffering. Stop worrying. No more suffering. Now, look into any moment in your normal life when you are suffering. Just try to look into your mind to see what's happening. You are complaining about something. You have aversion to the way things are in this present moment. That is the suffering. You let go of the aversion, no more suffering. Of course, you have to learn how to let go of the aversion. For that you have to learn to meditate. This is why meditation is so profound. It helps you to penetrate into the nature of your own mind and body. You don't have to read books on anatomy, physiology, psychology, nothing, not necessary. You can observe your whole body just like as you would observe in an X-ray from head to foot as you become advanced in your meditation. Later on, in advanced meditation, there are meditations. In the beginning of the meditation, you say to yourself, may I be able to penetrate into the nature of my head, from the top of my head to the base of my neck, and you sit down. When you become concentrated, you find you see almost like an X-ray of your own head. So you can go down, right down to your feet, to observe your nature. It is possible. So what do we need for this practice? You don't have to believe in Buddha. You don't have to believe in the monk. No. If you have enough, the faith you need is like that of a scientist who comes across a new theory and takes this, he has enough faith in this theory to take it to the laboratory and put it to the test. In your case, you don't have to take it to the laboratory because the observer and the observer is all within oneself. Got it? The observer and the observed is all within oneself. You don't have to take it to a laboratory. The laboratory is also there. It's only the human being that can do this. Awareness is capable of observing the nature of your own mind and body process very clearly, without exaggeration, without omission. And then we call, as soon as these insights come, we call them insight. So when you realize pain, the suffering from pain comes from the aversion to the pain, that's an insight. Because immediately, every insight you have, you'll be making the changes in the description you have in your thinking process. Normally, if I tell you something which is looking that way, your mind would say, no, that's his view. I have my own view. You understand? Normally you don't like to change your views and opinions just because somebody else says it. Because I am afraid that I will lose my identity. My views, my opinions, my concepts, my description is the major part of my ego. So the ego doesn't like changing views and opinions. But when you are seeing through direct perception, ego has no say. Later on the ego will, well, the new view is my view. But it bypasses the ego's permission and make the description that we have of our mind and body the right description. So it's like this description we have of our mind and body process, it's like a meter rule to measure, to judge, to decide. So once you have the right meter rule, then you can make the right measurement. If you got wrong views and opinions or tainted views and opinions, you will never come to the right conclusion, you never make the right decision. When you make a decision, your expectations will not come to fruition. Why? Because it's all based on wrong view. So this, when Buddha says establishing right view is paramount important to a human being, it's not a religion, it's a reality. I don't know why people call this a religion. I know many Buddhists in certain parts of the world have made it a worshipping religion. But Buddhism, Buddha's teachings was never meant to be worshipped or to be used as a philosophy, but only as a way of life. Where in the living of it only you can enjoy the bliss, the joy, happiness, and less suffering in your life. So, establishing right view has to be done through direct perception, that is through meditation. I mean, whatever you want to do in your life, you have a choice. You can use your normally weak, poor, fragmented mind, power of the mind, or you can meditate and develop a concentrated power of your mind. It's up to you. You want to stay on ignorance, it's perfectly okay. We have nothing against it. But if you want to have more joy and less suffering in life, do this. No matter what thoughts arise in your mind, you will be untouched. You'll be able to keep your cool. Because they're only thoughts, nothing to get excited about it, nothing to be afraid about it, nothing to have doubt about it. They're all thoughts. What's the nature of thought? They come and they go. So why should we want to get rid of these thoughts when they normally come and go? That's also ignorant. So don't wish any thoughts to go away. Then you find this thought will dominate your mind. It's the nature of aversion. And also fear has also another magnetic attraction. It's capable of attracting what it's afraid of. Fear is capable of attracting what you are afraid of. It's also a nature of it. Not always, not all the time, but it is. So fear and doubt to be treated in exactly the same way. Doubt. Doubt is nature of the mind. Now in my personal case, I say, the moment doubt comes up, I don't know. When I don't know, I'm open to knowing. If there's doubt and I think I know, and it was really doubt, then my mind is closed. I'm not open to knowing. Do you understand? So it's easier to not to indulge with maybe I know, maybe I don't know, maybe I know, maybe I don't know. Just doubt. Just say, I don't know. Finish. Why indulge? It's not a suffering, you know that, you know. Doubting, maybe he loves me, maybe he doesn't love me, maybe she loves me, maybe she doesn't love me. I say, I don't know, it's up to them. Very simple. I mean, even before meditation, somehow I was fortunate. I was always dealing with doubt like that. In fact, one day my teacher asked me, Kondanna, do you ever doubt? I said, very rarely, but I prefer not knowing. So, doubt means you're not sure whether you know or whether you don't know. A place of suffering, I call it. And then when you doubt, you project that doubt to the other person also. That's affecting you. So you say, I don't know. I do my part, let others do their part. When the ball comes to my side of the court, I play it. When it goes to the other side, that's their responsibility, not mine. Very simple. In relationships, doubt arises in relationship, there's a lot of suffering, isn't it? Why indulge in doubt? Always give the benefit of the doubt to your loved one, not to the other persons. So, dealing with fear, now we have some idea how to deal with fear, I hope so. But it's something to have to inculcate in your life by actually practicing. Dealing with pain by actually let the pain be there. I mean, people are sitting after some time, they do that, they do this, you know, to get rid of the pain. It's only you're changing the pillow for your headache. Pain is not in the body, it's in the mind. So you see some people sitting in meditation and says, after about 15 minutes, now it's time for me to change. Now it's pain. So you change. So after a little while, pain comes up again. This time worse than before. And you go back to the other position. Once you move, it will never be the same. Remember that. Try to keep your body completely still. That is the secret of success in your meditation. Because to move even a muscle, you need the mind to go to that muscle and move it. So that means you're not concentrating on your breath. Your mind has gone to move the muscle, move the finger, and some people do like this and all kinds of things, you know. Fidget with their toes. You can't concentrate by moving. Any part of the body, you have to be absolutely still. Then the mind becomes independent of the body. As long as the mind has to do something with the body, you cannot concentrate. Concentration can only come when your mind is completely absorbed into the body. So, I have no idea of time. What is the time now?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Yes, venerable. Do I go on or? Right. Oh, wait, one more thing then. Finish off. We have started. relationships. Now with relationships, Buddha's advice is to always be aware of your shortcomings in your duties to the other person. Duties to your neighbor, duties to your parents, duties to your wife, duties to your children, duties to your government. Only be aware of the shortcomings and try to fulfill them. Don't ever ask, is the other person doing his or her duty? No. That's not up to you. And with this attitude, you will be always getting a little bit more. Because you are getting rid of your shortcomings, giving. Now, most of this in relationships, the suffering comes from being selfish. In every relationship you are thinking of how much you are getting out of it. Now there is a noble high-minded word called rights. Human rights. Sounds very noble, high. Women's rights. Unfortunately, they have not thought about men's rights. It's not important. Wife rights. Don't worry about husband. Wife rights. So you start going on this road of rights, you will end up with suffering. If in a relationship one day you start thinking, am I getting enough? That is the beginning of the end of a relationship. Just remember that. But what does the Buddha say? Am I giving enough? That's the question. Just see how wonderful it is. I mean, you work like this for 1 week in your life. Am I giving enough in my relationships? You'll never give it up. Because you'll be always getting a little bit more. Am I getting enough? You'll be getting a little bit less. Because the hand that giving will start pulling back. And finally you don't give anything and you don't get anything. So Buddha's advice is always look into your shortcomings. Once you are in a relationship, most of the time it's too late. But before you get into a permanent relationship, you have to sort it out. Once you are in it, it's too difficult. Especially once, if it's a man and woman relationship, once the children start coming, it's not easy to say bye-bye. And of course, all these major relationships in our life, major happenings in our life is part of our karma. The way we conducted our life in our past lives brings about the major decisions in your life, major happenings in your life today. Major happenings, not everything. So once you realize that you are in a relationship, it doesn't work very well, you have to just stay with it until the karma is burnt up. It's another suffering. You see a lot of suffering in the world. It's good to observe other people suffering, but also realize that they are like that because of their karma in their previous life. Now knowing this doesn't allow you to be indifferent to these people. We can try to make their life a little bit more comfortable. We can't change them, but we can try to make them comfortable. You can't ask a homeless person, I'll give you a home. If he says, I don't want, you can't leave him. You try to give him some food or clothing or something that we can make his life much better. People who are going through karmic processes, it's difficult for us to change unless their karma is burnt out. This is also another one aspect of the nature. So now I give you some time to ask some questions. So I hope these few words will start making your mind more inquiring. Start experimenting with some of the things that I taught you. And you'll find your life will get better, more joyful. And then my words are not wasted. Bless you. Yes?
When you say that when you let go of a person, then you say, thank you for my freedom.
Yeah, first the best thing to say, let's say, thank you very much, we had a good time, you have to go your way, bye-bye.
Yes, but what about if that person is a young child, like an 8-year-old?
It doesn't matter who it is. This is for your salvation. Whether it's your child, your husband, your brother, your sister, it doesn't matter who the person is. It is for your peace that you have this attitude. Accept the loss. Whether the person is living or not doesn't matter. The person is gone out of your life. If the person comes back and want a shoulder to cry on, be open to that. If it's your son or your relative, those relationships you can't get rid of. They are there. You know. Blood relationships, they are there. So you just have to accept it when they go away, accept it when they come back, accept it. If they don't come back also, good luck. Anybody else? I know you're not all enlightened, so shoot the question.
I do.
Yeah.
You mentioned that, yes,
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
when somebody die and we think of them and we are hanging from them, we are not letting them go. My belief always been that I'm happy because they are together and they ask them for help and I don't want them to leave me. Is that wrong?
No, that's good.
Huh?
Wish them well. Bye-bye. Good luck.
I don't want them to leave me alone.
No. I mean, once they leave you alone, it's happened. You have to accept that. They have accepted. They have gone. Most of the time, our mind has a little trick. Whenever something happens, it asks, why me? Why my husband? Why my son? Or why my brother? Once something happens, you just accept the happening. That is the reality. Why is a trick mind asks not to accept it? It's like saying, until I know why, I'm not going to accept it. That's what the mind does. So, moment not to question why, but to accept the reality of the present moment.
I accept that they are gone.
Yeah.
But in spirit, I want to feel them around, and sometimes I think that they are around.
Oh,
me.
that's just your desire.
But it's not so.
No, I mean you have to look. It's your desire of your mind. You want to let it go, then it's no problem.
So it's not good for these beings to try to hand to them, because you mentioned
No, once they leave you, no. It's suffering.
for them.
For you.
Oh,
It's suffering for you because you are thinking, I wish they are with me, I wish they are around me, and they come to see me. You know, it's all negative. it's not positive. Don't feel good about it.
But I'm not holding them from do whatever they have to do on the other side.
No, of course, in a way, you are holding them because you have aversion to not having them around you.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you have to let go of that aversion and says, I accept, they're gone, bye, good luck. If you come back, there's always a shoulder to cry on.
Thank you.
Because if you can't accept when they come back, that means you're still having aversion. So, when you can accept it, that means you have no aversion. Yes, sir.
So, sorry, Reverend. I know a couple of us came a little bit late, sorry about that. Is that possible you to give us a quick recap of the main points of the preaching today? Maybe just your other main 4 or 5 points.
First I started talking about the nature of the mind. That 75% of our suffering is not really knowing the nature of our own mind and body process. It doesn't mean that you should read a book on psychology, physiology and anatomy, but just to observe the nature of the mind oneself. That you have to learn to meditate, to concentrate your mind, and use the concentrated mind to observe the nature of one's own mind and body process. And it will reveal itself to you in all its clarity. So once that has taken place, you have the right description in the foundation of your thinking. So whenever you want to think something, you got the right view, right description. So when you want to decide something for yourself, something for somebody else, whether it's good or bad, if you don't have the right view, you'll always make a mistake. And sometimes we do something and what we expect is something different from what we expected. That may be because you had right view, wrong view. Because it's like if you are a merchant, cloth merchant with a meter rule. Instead of a meter, you have 1.4 meters in the meter rule. Then you won't be making much money because you're giving more than what people are paying for. And if you have less than a meter, you'll probably gain more money by cheating the people. So it is important that our views and opinions, mind you, all these views and opinions and concepts, they're all second hand, and we haven't got anything original, They're all second hand. We defend them, we fight for them. So these views and opinions becomes the criteria of judgment in our life. It becomes the difference between suffering and not suffering. Suffering and joy. I mean, if you start lamenting about somebody who leaves you, there's suffering. If you start thinking, how wonderful, I'm free, and start thinking on that line, you can have joy instead of suffering. It's just how you look at a situation, how you look at a happening. You look at negatively, suffering. You look at positively, no suffering, joy. Right? Mm-hmm. And doubt, fear needs the future. You have to think about the future, only then fear can arise. If you don't think about the future, fear cannot arise in such a mind. So the best thing is to be in the moving present, at least be in the day. We're not sometimes even in the day, never mind the moving present. We're either yesterday or tomorrow. Our mind is occupied by that. So what I understood by the Buddha's teachings is, in this 45 years of teaching, he was trying to make human beings understand how important it is to really live When are we living? This moment. Past is past, history. Future, not yet come. So only time we are allowed is the moving present. And it's important to be with that. Yes.
Okay. So, for example, say someone's scared of speaking in front of an audience and they have to prepare for a presentation that they're going to make. And they know that they're going to be scared.
No. That they are projecting negative future. They know that they are going to be scared. No. Don't about that. The future again. Just do your best. I mean, I was there myself.
I heard you're supposed to imagine them all being
naked.
I heard you're supposed to imagine them all being naked.
Huh?
I heard you're supposed to imagine they're all supposed to be naked. That's
No, I didn't say anything.
No. That's what I said. Public speaking is, they've told you that.
What are you thinking of?
I'm just the messenger.
Where were you before you came here?
In my own mind, obviously.
Okay. Anybody else? I mean, I don't know. It's difficult to cover 1 hour in a couple of minutes. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I want to ask you, when you say that karma is to be burned, how do you burn karma?
Oh, we just have to go through it.
Okay.
If there's negative, I mean, if you have done everything right, your life is good, everything is right, and something negative happens, that's when you have to accept it as karma.
It's karma.
Don't blame anybody, just accept it as karma. Because the moment you blame somebody, you have to carry aversion towards that person. When you're carrying aversion, you're not carrying not something nice, you're carrying aggression.
Yes. And just one more question. What is your view on owning something by letting it go? Is that something that...
We say sometimes, we take with us what we give. What we take, we don't take with us. The feeling, the joy of giving is much more powerful than the joy of taking. Letting go. I mean, you can enjoy somebody else using what you have. It's very important to learn the art of letting go, especially when you have to let go. You choose to let go is different, that you have a choice. But when you have to let go, you say bye. I mean, if any time death is coming, I'm ready. I say, come and take me, please. Why? Because I have no choice. When death comes, you have no choice. You can't say, give me another couple of minutes or 1 hour, 1 day, no. So you might as well just go joyful instead of suffering. Anybody else at the back? Any particular problem? Okay. How about a little meditation? So compose yourself, try to keep your back as straight as possible and not try to lean your body against the back of the chair or back of the wall, because that's a very strong magnet for sleeping. So you want to meditate, you don't want to sleep. So those who are sitting on the chair, come forward in your chair, get away from the back of the chair. Keep your feet firmly on the ground. Right hand over your left hand. Bring your mind's attention to the body accept the nature of the body in the present moment, whatever the condition of the body. Accept your age. Now bring your attention to your mind. Whatever the state of mind you are in right now, just accept it. Nothing more. Just accepting the reality of the moment present. Now bring your attention to the nostrils. Take a long in-breath, a long out-breath. Making it somewhat gross so that you can clearly feel the sensation that arises due to the impingement of air on the nostril. You're breathing in, a stream of air touches the nostrils, one or both, doesn't matter, on its way in. Just observe the touch sensation from the beginning until it stops. When you're breathing out, a stream of air comes out of the nostrils, touching the nostrils on its way out. Just that touch sensation from the beginning till it stops. That's all you have to do. If you're not observing, you find yourself thinking, you come back to the breath again. Thinking is not meditation. Keeping the body absolutely still is very important in this practice. In fact, it's the secret of success. Once you get used to that, you find it much more comfortable than moving. Don't open your eyes, keep your eyes closed, keep your head straight, don't let it go down. Just observe that sensation that arises due to the impingement of air on the nostrils. So you observe this sensation from the beginning till it stops. On the in-breath, beginning till it stops on the out-breath. If there is a space between the end of the in-breath and beginning of the out-breath, just be aware of that space. Or end of the out-breath and beginning of the in-breath, if there is a space, just be aware of that space. Now you may let go of the control of the breathing and allow the body to breathe as it wants. Now gradually your breathing will settle down to a calm and a tranquilizing rhythm. When your breathing settles down to a calm and tranquilizing rhythm, your mind will also settle down to a state of calm and tranquility, poise and equilibrium. Try to stay there as long as you can. If the mind is not, if the breathing is not relaxing, breathe in, relax in the breath, breathe out, relax in the breath. Find gradually your breathing will relax and relax and relax until you cannot feel the sensation at the nostrils anymore. Don't panic. Don't think you're not breathing. Your breathing has become so subtle. But the mind knows the breath is going in, the breath is going out. Now stay with the mind knowing. The breath is going in, the breath is going out. If the sensation manifests again at the nostrils, you observe the sensation, otherwise just stay with the mind.